So it's been a while, but finally we're back here to do an album review on the one and only Sir Paul McCartney. So hello and yes, welcome back to another album review, guys. Yes, it's finally time for another album review. Last two have been on Tom Petty, so finally we're here to do someone else. I thought who better to come back with than one of the solo Beatles. I haven't done a solo Beatle album review in quite a while now. At least 6 weeks I think it's been now. So anyway, here we are, we're back. Two quick things though, well no, I'm going to say three actually. I'm going to say three quick things before we get started on the review. Number one is something which I'm actually so happy about, and something I've wanted to do for so long. I've wanted to change the artwork on my channel for quite some time now, and I'm crap at things like that. I literally use paint to do it. I'll openly admit that, you know, I don't know how to do this kind of thing. But a very good friend of mine, Dr. Robert, his YouTube channel is called. I'm going to put a link in the description to him. I'm going to add him to my recommended channels because he's also got a fantastic YouTube channel. The music he collects is brilliant. If you like the Beatles and Elvis and all that kind of stuff, you're going to love him. But he also loves a load of new music as well. Been checking out his videos lately. Fantastic taste in music. Incredible. So Dr. Robert Paul, go check his channel out. Link in the description, as I say. But I have to give him a massive thank you because he has actually just helped me with my channel artwork, because he's fantastic at this kind of thing and he's so talented at it. And honestly, you guys have probably noticed that my profile picture is different. And if you head over to my actual channel, the border, the banner is different. I'll just hold this up here for those of you guys who haven't seen it yet. But it is incredible. I don't know how you do it, Paul, but it is fantastic. And there's also should be a new intro for my videos on the way. Hopefully going to try and link it in with the picture and the banner so it all kind of all matches. But honestly, Paul, it is incredible. So I have to give you a massive shout out and a massive thank you for helping me with that. Because it generally is just incredible. It's mind-blowing, in fact, how you're so talented and how you've done that so well. It really does mean the world to me. And as I say, you've got to go check out his channel, guys, because he's fantastic. So thank you so much, Paul. Second thing up, of course, I always mention this in every video because it's very rare in the winter that I get the correct lighting that I like for my videos. I'm not a pro YouTuber where I have the massive lights here to give me great lighting when I film my videos. I don't have that kind of thing. So I am relying on my actual light bulb and natural lighting coming through the window. Bit grey outside today, so I've stuck my light on and it's the best I could get. Not the best lighting quality today, so I apologise for that. Third thing up, of course, is my contest. So I uploaded a video this morning about my contest again because some people couldn't view the first contest video because there was a song in it and it was getting blocked in some countries. So now everyone should hopefully be able to, you know, actually view a video, whichever video you want, hear the contest, what you've got to do in the contest and whatnot. And I'd be so grateful if, people took part, 'cause it honestly means the world to me that people, in fact, 2,000 subscribers. I mean, come on, that's an incredible number. I honestly never thought I'd get there, so I'm so grateful, so happy for that. I really wanted to run a contest, and I really hope you guys can have some fun with it too, because I'm having a blast just looking at the entries so far. I'll be doing a contest update video probably around mid to late January, and I'll also take part in the contest myself, but obviously won't put my name in the hat at the end. And of course, if you do win, if you are the winner, you'll get a record of your choice from Amazon. Well, when I say record of your choice, within reason still, of course. But, you know, there's a free record in it for the winner, so hey. So yeah, that's it then, my three things. Let's get down to the album review now, because we're 4 minutes in nearly, and I'm still blah, 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 and on. So anyway, Paul McCartney, Red Rose Speedway. We're going in order of McCartney albums. We've done McCartney. That got a 7 out of 10. We done Ram. That got an 8.8 out of 10. We done Wildlife. That got a 5 out of 10. So now it is time for Red Rose Speedway. And this album here I have a bit of a soft spot for. It's not quite the disaster. And I wouldn't say Wildlife was actually a disaster, but it's not quite the mess that Wildlife is. But of course, at the same time, it's not the masterpiece that Ram is. It's somewhere in the middle for me. So anyway, in this review, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the album, tell you why I think that. And by doing that, I'm going to give you a bit of information on the album. We're going to go over each track individually and mark it out of 10. Then I'm going to show you my copy of the vinyl record. We're going to mark the artwork out of 10. And when we've done all that, we're going to add all the scores up, which will give us an overall marking for this album out of 10. But we won't be done there, because when we've done that, we're going to take that overall marking, put it on the album ranking board, see where it ranks compared to other albums I've reviewed here on this channel. So there's a lot to go through, and we're at the 5-minute mark and haven't even started. So let's get started now. It's Paul McCartney's Red Rose Speedway. This was his 4th studio album, from when he left the Beatles. However, it is the second Wings one. This is also the first Wings album, which is titled Paul McCartney and Wings, because Wildlife was just Wings. There was no mention of Paul's name on the cover anyway, apart from the back blurb bit. So I think that Paul and the rest of the group here decided that, hey, that might help if we have the Beatles' name on it. Which it did quite a lot, actually. Whether it was down to that or the music, I don't think anyone will ever know, because the music is definitely better. But still, I think the name probably helped to go up a couple notches in the chart, that's for sure. So this was released on the 4th of May 1973. In the UK, it hit number 5, which is a bloody good mark for this album, I think. And even better, number 1 in America. I mean, fantastic stuff. So in 1972, which was when this album really started to get visualised a bit, you know, Paul started to slowly put together in his head this new album. They added another guitarist to the group Wings, and they were going out touring around British universities, which is fantastic. There's a whole documentary on it. It's a lot of fun. And while he was doing that, he was kind of, you know, he was singing a lot of songs. You know, he was singing his singles from 1972, like Mary Had a Little Lamb, Give Ireland Back to the Irish, Hi Hi Hi, 2 of which were banned in the UK by the BBC. Great start, Paul. And, you know, he was touring, doing a lot of them songs, and a lot of classic old rock songs, which actually I do have here a nice bootleg called Wings Over Denmark. We can actually hear a lot of that stuff, and, you know, you can see a lot. They do, like, Bip Bop and Bumbo and Smile Away, I Am Your Singer. So they do a lot of that stuff. Not many Beatles songs, which is kind of good, really, because I think Paul was trying to establish a new band here, which I respect a lot. And yeah, when this album finally come about, it sounded quite amazing at the start. It's going to be a double album. It's going to be an expensive album. They were to get Glyn Johns to produce it, who's a fantastic producer, who people will know from Eric Clapton days, from Slow Hand and Backless, 2 of my very favourite Eric Clapton albums. And of course, he's come back to do Eric Clapton's new one, I Still Do. So it's like, you know, he's still going strong. So yeah, and there was going to be some unreleased stuff that got missed off of Ram, and Ram was a fantastic album, so some missed off stuff of that. It's got to be good as well, surely. But anyway, the album kind of collapsed in on itself a bit. Well, number 1, Glyn Johns left. Him and Paul had one too many disagreements, and Glyn Johns pretty much walked out. So that was the first kick, and then second off, they then decided to cut the album in half. Mainly because Paul wanted it to be more commercial, and then wanted it to be less expensive, so it would then generate more of a profit, I believe. So yeah, I mean, I like the vision which Paul had at the start more myself than what we probably got here. But anyway, no one's ever going to know what that product would have turned out to be. It might have been a lot worse, so hey, we'll take what we got here. So yeah, it was, the album did pretty well. It had a number 1 single, of course, To My Love as well, so yeah. And it has a total of 9 tracks on here, but the last one, of course, is actually made up of 4 smaller tracks. And it's a very interesting medley, but we'll get to that one. Anyway, so the album opens up with a track called Big Barn Bed, which is one of the tracks which was left off of Ram, and you can actually hear it at the end of Ram Reprise, which I love. It's like Ram Reprise kind of leaves with, it wasn't planned at the time, I don't believe, but it ends with this kind of subtle little hint to an album that's coming. I love that. I think it's really clever. You see it in films a lot nowadays. You know, it's like when you're watching these superhero ones, you'll see oh, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of something off the top of my head. It's like, you know, you get the Avengers films, and then at the end, you'll get a little hint of the big villain, Thanos, who is coming in a later Avengers film. You know, it's kind of cool how the album's done this as well. It's given a small little hint towards an album, you know, it wasn't planned, but anyway, it's still giving a little hint to something a song that's coming from an album that's coming. So I think it's really cool, that myself. I love it. Anyway, the song itself starts with this very simple but fun guitar solo at the start. Very cool. It's a fun little random song, really. Half the time I can't understand Paul's vocals, though, I can't lie. I think this album needs reissuing badly. But anyway, it's a decent song, that's for sure. The vocals are pretty good. The backing vocals get a little bit groany at times, but then again, I kind of feel like they do on this whole album a bit, the backing vocals. They kind of drone on a bit. But yeah, it's not a bad song. It's fun, it's catchy, it's nothing incredible. I'll give this track a 7 out of 10. And of course we get the single which hit #1, My Love, and it's probably loved by all McCartney fans, including myself. The song, I didn't notice till I was doing my research, but the song was actually recorded live with an orchestra in Abbey Road Studios. The fact that this song was done live amazes me. It just sounds incredible. It sounds like something that's been produced really well, and it has been produced really well over the top. But the song itself just, it holds up so well as a live recording, and it's fantastic. So yeah, the single hit #1. The song is purely about Paul's love for Linda. It's a really sweet song. He's still performing it live today, bless him. It's a nice slow McCartney ballad. The vocals from Paul are just brilliant. The backing vocals on this one, best backing vocals on the whole album, maybe the only good ones, to be honest. Really good. I can't give this song a 10 out of 10 though, because the reason I want to give it a 10 out of 10, I do, because I do love this song. But I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10 because there are moods when you get me in. Sometimes it's a bit like, I don't want one of them slow, dreary McCartney ballads. But most of the time I am in the mood where I do want to hear it, so I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. But I don't think it's quite the perfect, amazing song that some Beatles fans make it out to be. I think it's a fantastic song. It is incredible, but it's not like perfection level, I don't think. But it's a good song, very good song. Then we get the track Get On The Right Thing, which is basically gone straight back to Big Barn Bed. My Love kind of seems like a bit of a odd track on this album, really. It sounds too well done. With the orchestra and stuff in the background, which sounds brilliant. But anyway, Get On The Right Thing, going back to the sound of Big Barn Bed, has a very similar sound to that. Simple lyrics again, but great vocals from Paul, fantastic vocals. A bit random with the unexpected kind of screaming vocals that Paul will go into. He'll be halfway through singing a line and then he'll let it out, he'll start screaming a bit and he'll be like, didn't see that coming, but okay. And then all of a sudden he'll just do it at another random point in the album. But anyway, similar feelings towards Big Barn Bed on this one, really. So I'm just going to go 7 out of 10 again. And then we get what I like to call a filler track. And, considering we're already getting some filler tracks, maybe a double album wasn't the best thing. But anyway, we get a track called One More Kiss, which is a very slow, last-minute type of track, which is like, oh, chuck that one on the album, that'll do. Not Paul's best vocal performance either, really. And Paul has amazing vocals on this album, I think. He's diverse, he's doing a lot of different styles, but this song, it's not great. The song really just doesn't do anything. The lyrics are just kind of weak, very weak for a solo Beatle, I feel. This is a song that you'd expect Ringo to write, but yeah, here it is being done by Mr. McCartney, and it's a bit like, oh, okay, Paul, what are you doing? You can do better than that. We know you can. So, but it's not a bad song. It's just, it's innocent enough where you can't say it's bad. But it's not good at the same time. So I'm going to go right down the middle with a 5 out of 10 on this track. Then we get the track Little Lamb Dragonfly. So this track here, no one really knows what the song's about. Not even Paul's come out and talked about it, which I'm surprised about because it is one of the favourites on this album by most people. But anyway, people have speculated, and the biggest speculated guess as towards what the lyrics are about is about when one of Paul's sheep on his farm was dying. He wrote it about that. I can't remember the lyrics off the top of my head, but he's singing about how he can help someone, but they'll never meet again. So kind of helping them through the last stages of that sheep's life before it does pass on. If it was a human, it'd make more sense, but he's singing about a bloody sheep here. But anyway. The acoustic intro sounds incredible. I love it. It sounds fantastic. Paul's vocals with Denny Lane's vocals blend so well together. They really do. They're fantastic. I love how the song then changes and gives Paul the lead vocals again. And, you know, the lyrics are a bit wacky, but they're creative and enjoyable. The song itself is just a lot of fun. And I do really love this song, and it perhaps is my favourite track on the whole album. It's between that and My Love, because, yeah, My Love, it is a classic, let's face it. But anyway, Little Lamb Dragonfly, 9 out of 10. Love this track. Fantastic song. So then we are on to the second side of the record, and this is where the record kind of, you know, the record was doing pretty well, in my opinion. I mean, it was like, yeah, this is better than Wildlife, but we're not quite back up to Ram, but now we're going to take a nosedive again. And we get Single Pigeon open it up, which this one isn't too bad, you know, it's you know, just another little short duddy type song. The vocals and lyrics are fun, just a simple little song again. Don't know what to say about it really. The acoustic and the piano play well off each other. Yeah, I mean, this song does get stuck in my head from time to time when I've heard it, so I will give this one a 6. I won't be too harsh on that one. Then we get When the Night. So, a lot of people probably say this one's like Big Barn Bed or Get on the Right Thing. And yeah, it does have that similar kind of feel, but it's not as interesting as them two in my opinion. I love the acoustic work in it. And that's like the best thing I can say about it. It's a very catchy tune. Backing vocals on this one, you know, they do get annoying on this one. Unfortunately, poor Linda and Denny Lane here, you know, not giving their best, I don't think. The song kind of goes on for a while and it doesn't really go anywhere. So, literally, you can do about a minute of this song, then you're bored and you want to skip it. And you realise that the song's still got like another 3 minutes in it. And in those next 3 minutes, it does the exact same thing that the first minute's done. It just doesn't really change at all. But, you know, Paul gives a great performance on it. So I will give this track 6 out of 10 again, because it's not bad still. It's still enjoyable-ish. The next track up is the instrumental, Loop, First Indian on the Moon. Now, instruments, I'm very picky with instrumentals. I love some instrumentals. I think they're fantastic. You know, but I have had the privilege of hearing most of Pink Floyd's instrumentals, most of Eric Clapton's instrumentals, most of Stevie Wonder's instrumentals, and those are kind of like the gods for instrumentals in my mind. They are fantastic at them. So Paul, you know, he's a singer-songwriter, that's what we all know him as. So how well does he do an instrumental? Not bad. It's, you know, I'll give my mark away now. It's a 5 out of 10. So it's not bad, it's not great. You know, it starts off very poorly in my opinion. I don't like the tune he's come up with to start with. It sounds very dark, very weird. But then it changes. I was going to give this song like a low mark based on the intro. But because of how the song kind of changes and adapts, I couldn't be too harsh on it because he's really been quite creative with it. I think he's taken a lot of that prog influence that Floyd were doing at the time on this album. And it's very good. It's very interesting, really. But as I said, I just don't like the tune at the start, so I can't be overly kind to it. But then I can't be too harsh on it because I found it quite creative in the second half. So I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Then we get to the medley. Okay, so there's 4 tracks in this. We got Hold Me Tight, Lazy Dynamite, Hands of Love, Power Cut. First off, people love to compare this to Abbey Road. Don't do it. There's no point. Abbey Road is like classic golden material. Of course this isn't going to be as good. This is the album which is following Wildlife. It's following this album up here. Of course it's not going to be as good as Abbey Road. So just don't go there. There's no point. The songs themselves, you know, it's a 9-minute track. Each song gets about 2 minutes plus or just below each. Hold Me Tight, kind of boring really. But then the track really picks up a bit when, you know, the guitars kick in a bit more and the drums come in. And it becomes an enjoyable song with a cool guitar solo. Lazy Dynamite, decent song, kind of gets a bit longed out really. But the harmonic and the guitar work again is very good to it. Hands of Love, another okay song, bit more fun, bit more enjoyable. Love the guitar work again, but other than that, it's another song which probably couldn't have held up well on its own, so we stuck it in the medley. And then we got Power Cut, which has a really cool piano to it. I like it. but the Maybe I Love You part in the background, the backing vocals, definitely ruined that song. Could have done without that, but it's not bad. Overall, the medley, it's nothing genius, it's nothing fantastic, it's nothing like, oh my god, Abbey Road Part 2. It is just simple-minded fun. It is fun to sing along to, and if you've got a guitar to jam along to it, it's not that bad, really. Some people love to slate this medley. It's not that bad, really. It's innocent fun, and I do like it. Thank God these songs weren't any longer, though, because if these songs were individual songs, then yeah, it'd probably be pretty shite. But because they're only little snippets, and they kind of feed off each other well, and they generally flow into each song very, very well, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's not that bad. So anyway, now let's take a look at my vinyl record quickly. I think I've actually got the wrong record out, because I believe there is a book with... I've got the wrong one. I'm going to pinch this. I'll do a swap, see. That one can... There we go. Let's have a look at this one. Yeah, I got two, because that one there I bought when I was in Devon, and I remember climbing up this huge mountain, or massive hill. It was almost, you could call it a mountain, because it was so bloody steep, I'll tell you. And we climbed down the other side, me and my family, into this little town called Sidmouth, and there was a little record fair on, and I bought that copy there, and I had to climb all the way back up this hill, literally like a 9-mile trek. So I don't want to get rid of that one, because I have a lot of sentimental feeling towards it, but this is my nice copy. So yeah, I do like the cover to this album, it's pretty cool. The back, nothing to it really, but I like the braille for Stevie Wonder. I think it says, "We love you, baby," or "We love you, Stevie," something like that. And then the gatefold, as I say, you do get a little book in here, which is quite nice. And we'll flick through it real quick. Yeah. Bam there. There we are, is the page for the lads. And then there we are. So really, not much to the book at all, really, to be honest. A little bit pointless, but there we go. And yeah, here is the record. My copy that I got in Devon actually does have the Wings logo here, which I hear is a little bit rare. So I do have the nice... I really should swap the records out, because this is the nicer cover. The other one's the nicer record. So, but anyway, no bother. Doesn't matter really to me. But anyway, so the artwork out of 10, I'm going to give an 8. It's pretty good. Nothing to complain about. So overall, out of 10, this album is going to get... who's ready for a laugh? A 6.9! It's got a 6.9 out of 10. So anyway, now what we got to do is we're going to head over to the album ranking board, put it on there, see where it ranks compared to other albums I've reviewed here on this channel. So here we are, back over to the album ranking board, of course. And actually, I've kind of ballsed up a bit here, guys. I've actually run out of the sticky stuff, the blow tag, which actually sticks the scores up on there. So for this video, we're going to have to use our imagination. But I do have the slip here. Paul McCartney, Red Rose Speedway, 6.9. So, you know, let's just, we'll just hold it here for the minute. The next album review will be stuck up, though, I promise you guys. So it's tied with Eric Clapton's Another Ticket. And let's have a look at what albums... Beatles related. It's beaten. So it's beaten John Lennon and Yoko Ono Sometime in New York City, which is just here. Yeah, it was a low. Wildlife on a 5 right there. We've got George Harrison 33 and a third on a 6.3 there. And yeah, let's now have a look at the ones that have beaten it. Been beaten out by Paul's debut album on a 7. John Lennon and Yoko Ono Sometime... No, Double Fancy on a 7.2. And then we've got Paul McCartney Ram on an 8.8 and George Harrison All Things Must Pass right at the top there. So Red Rose Speedway hasn't done too bad, to be honest. So there we are, there's my review of Paul McCartney's Red Rose Speedway. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun talking about it. Still can't believe I've managed to go on nearly 25 minutes. Oh my god, how'd you go 25 minutes about this album? I don't know, but I've done it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. One more time, another quick reminder, it's going to get annoying over the next month, I know. But the contest's still going on, of course, guys. So if you want to take part, please feel free to do so. But anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button, like the video, and leave a message. And I'll see you guys next time for another video.